Made in Germany. Das war mal ein Begriff. Die Welt hat uns bewundert. Für unsere Produkte, für unseren Erfindungsreichtum, die natürlich entspringt aus einem vernünftigen Bildungssystem, gut ausgebildete Leute hervorbringt.
There are some countries that life never gives a chance to. Whatever they achieve, they do it on their own. When we look back in history, we can see a country that once stood up to the whole world. As you might have guessed from what I'm saying, I'm talking about Germany, the heart of Europe. When you think of Europe, the first country that comes to mind in terms of economy, medicine, and car production is Germany. For the last 2 years since 2022, the European giant has been going through a recession and is definitely not having good days. With technology evolving in different directions and other economic giants shifting gears from first to third, it seems like the tide has turned. So why did Germany, which was doing so well, suddenly start to decline? In this video, I'll talk about things that no one else has mentioned, or rather, explain it from a different perspective. We'll cover Germany's economy, the impact of wars on Germany, the decline of the car industry, the influence of public opinion on the economy, and lastly, a topic that I believe might be the most important. Germany, a country with a success story that's hard to list out. The largest economy in Europe. This country, which has export as its foundation and has done big things in industry, has been at the top of the continent for years. The dream of young people, a place known for its cars that play a big role in many movies and do justice to that fame. Not only in the automotive sector, but also in fields like chemistry, medicine, and mechanical engineering. It's a masterpiece that's earned the trust of the world. When Germany is mentioned, quality and reliability come to mind first. Using its resources wisely, it exports its products and services to global markets. Even its biggest competitors, like China and the US, sometimes find themselves out of this competition. Naturally, when a country's economy, foreign policy, and exports are strong, the standard of living of its people is also at the highest levels. It's not just the German people who benefit from these opportunities. Germany is a major job market and investment area, especially for Eurozone countries. It holds a leading position in most financial decisions within the European Union. That's why an economic slowdown in Germany directly affects the financial health of Europe. In other words, Germany is such an integral part of this system that even a slight slowdown comes at a high cost, and as a result, people suffer. If you're a manufacturing country, one of the biggest needs is energy. Since the Russia-Ukraine war started, Germany has largely lost its natural gas supply from Russia. This price increase has caused significant damage to Germany's industry. The industrial sector in Germany has reported that their costs have risen by 25% due to rising energy prices. Now, Volkswagen and Intel are preparing to add even more pain to the country's economy, which seems to be stuck in a worsening cycle. For the first time in its history, Volkswagen wants to close down its factories that employ 300,000 people. Can you imagine what this means? In this era, where unemployment is a huge issue, something like this is depressing. It's not just the automotive industry. The chemical industry is also experiencing major crises. BASF, one of Germany's reputable companies, announced that due to rising energy costs, it will move some of its operations to regions like Asia and the US, where energy costs are lower. This situation threatens the competitive edge of Germany's chemical sector. Look at the kind of problems that a price increase can cause. Even an economic giant like Germany can find itself in a deadlock like this. One of the other reasons is the slowdown in exports. Germany used to export a big portion of its goods to China, but as you know, China is sharing the same fate, meaning the economic stagnation there has made things even worse. Exports to China in fields like mechanical engineering, automotive, and chemicals added strength to Germany's economy. In the first half of 2023, German exports to China saw a 5% drop. This decline led to a loss of revenue in Germany's export sectors, causing companies to struggle in the Asian market. Additionally, the fact that cars are being produced at cheap prices in China is one of the issues for Germany. The chief economist at Hamburg Commercial Bank, Dr. Cyrus de la Rubia, said the recession in Germany's manufacturing sector is lasting way longer than anyone expected. He added, "We saw an even bigger drop in orders in August, which killed hopes for a quick recovery. Normally, over the last 30 years, the sector managed to bounce back within 20 months, at most after a recession began. But this time, things are different, and China seems to be the main culprit." German companies are moving away not just from Germany, but also from China. If you're wondering where they're heading, of course, it's one of the economic giants, the United States. In recent years, America has started hosting more and more companies, which has helped strengthen the economy, boost exports, and improve the welfare of its people. While things are going well on one side of the continent, uncertainty persists on the other side. And another major issue is the decline in competition in Germany. Total industrial production in Germany fell by 2% in the third quarter of 2023. This drop was mainly due to high costs in the manufacturing sector. One of the leading companies in this was the German steel giant ThyssenKrupp. ThyssenKrupp switched to green energy in response to rising energy costs, but since the costs here aren't as favorable as hoped, they couldn't make much profit. As you know, in industries like steel, chemicals, and glass production, energy costs are generally higher than in other sectors. Naturally, crises like these are inevitable. In war, it's not just people who die, but the economies of other countries too. As the saying goes, the only winner in war is the country at war. Siemens Energy was another company hit by these issues. In addition to energy costs, Siemens Energy also faced supply chain problems. This led to nearly a 30% drop in its stock price over the year. Moreover, the company had to cancel or downsize some of its projects. Improving a country's living conditions is a very good thing, but there can be some shortcomings. In Germany, among all these problems, it also has to deal with some of these shortcomings. The labor shortage in Germany is rapidly growing due to the aging population. Because the younger generation, specifically Generation Z, has an aversion to work, it's becoming increasingly difficult to replace those who leave. Even though they're bringing in workers from other weaker economies, they still haven't reached sufficient numbers. Another issue that the increase in workers from other countries brings is that German genes might slowly disappear. The presence of this shortfall makes it harder for the country and companies to start new projects and make investments. According to research conducted, in 2023 there were about 1.7 million open job positions in Germany. This situation poses a threat to Germany's long-term economic growth. Additionally, the German Economic Research Institute predicts that by 2030, the German economy could face a risk of contracting by 0.6% annually. Consumers have also stopped consuming. People are now spending less in marketplaces. This is causing a stagnation in the economy. When you look at it, what can the public do? The high increase in inflation and energy is causing this. The Consumer Confidence Index in Germany in 2023 has dropped to its lowest level in the past 10 years. According to the latest Consumer Confidence Index report by GfK, the index, which was minus 18.6 in August, fell by another 3.4 points to minus 22 in September. Although there was a temporary boost in consumer activity from the Euro 2024 held in Germany, it didn't last long. Consumer confidence quickly declined after the championship. The main reasons behind this decline include the rising unemployment rates in Germany, many companies going bankrupt, and negative news about layoffs. As Germany faces difficulties with its growth targets, the central bank projects only limited growth in the third quarter. Additionally, there's an increase in the trend of saving. While households' income expectations have greatly dropped, consumers are choosing to limit their spending due to high inflation and the decline in their purchasing power. So, what is Germany doing about these issues? Of course, while these measures work in the long run, they don't have that big of an impact in the short term. One of these measures is to eliminate the energy problem, and for that they're investing more in solar and wind energy. Germany has set a goal to meet most of its energy needs, about 80% from renewable sources by 2030. This means they'll be investing around 50 billion euros every year. Another measure is to provide tax advantages, specifically to encourage green energy. In conclusion, these measures still aren't enough. Every day we hear unbelievable news around the world: wars, economic crises, wildfires, floods, and many other negative events. Of course, all of this causes people to feel stressed, fall into depression, and suffer from deadly diseases. This in turn changes people's habits and affects everything they see around them. Yes, maybe we didn't live in the best era of human history, or maybe even tougher days await us. So what should we do now? Where should we go? Life has always been hard, and it will continue to be so. No one can stop that, but we should try to think more positively, think more, read more, find new ideas and different lifestyles. No matter how hard it gets, this life will take you and me along with it. So, what do you think? If you enjoyed the video, even if you learned just one thing, that's great for me. If you want to support me and see more videos like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. You can also check out my other videos to stay updated on events happening in other parts of the world. See you.